audience for Major Speech 1.
I was her, the girl who ran a sprint in tar and got an ankle injury that would haunt me for 5 years. The sun was high, but the winter chill still lingered. The halls were crowded, and all I could think was, I have to get to the track in order for practice. I rushed to the locker room where the girls were still getting changed. Tying their spikes, fixing their ponytails, and putting on deodorant. I set my backpack down and started getting changed down too. Then our coach yelled in and called for us to go out there. I went outside and we started our warm-ups. Then we moved on to our specific event training. I thought I was on my way to becoming an 8th grade track star. We were then instructed to run laps around the track, increasing the distance each time. I started off pretty well, but the track was uneven and made of gravel. I was halfway through when I felt a sharp pain crush through my ankle. I found out later that this incident would dictate and change my future. I'm speaking with you today to tell you the story of my struggle, but also how I was able to overcome it. Hoping that you can take this as motivation to push past your own personal struggles. Going through life isn't easy, but with the use of self-perseverance, resilience, and the mindset of overconfidence, it may just be enough to get you through what you're going through. You may be wondering, how does she know what I'm going through? To be frank, I don't. But I have gone through my own struggle, an ankle injury that would haunt me for 5 years. Let's rewind to my 8th grade year. Up to this point, I have been involved in choir, drama, and I decided that this year I was going to make my mark as an athlete. So I joined the track team. I noticed this pain in my ankle. So I told my coach, and he told me to just keep running. So I did. The pain stayed with me during the upcoming track meet, and after finishing my relay, I could no longer ignore it. What I initially thought was a temporary setback became a long-term issue. My ankle never fully healed the way I wanted it to, and over time, I had to find ways to work around it and instead of pushing through it. At this point, I tapped into my inner confidence, told myself that I wasn't going to that this wasn't going to keep me down. I continued to push myself even during recovery. I iced, elevated, and walked. I was told it was a sprain, so I treated it as such. I was overconfident that this wasn't going to be the end. That wasn't until I realized it wasn't the end. Junior year came along, and I pushed past the thought of becoming an athlete. I decided to focus on my future. I was going to enlist in the Army National Guard, where I was going to use my GI Bill to get free college and kill 4 years until I could become a police officer. There was 3 days till I went and got to get medically cleared when I had sprained my ankle again after just going on a walk. I was so ambitious, I called up my recruiter and asked him if I could just wear a brace and if I could just walk through it. He told me no, and that this would make me ineligible for military service. And unless healed, and I signed a waiver for it. That wasn't going to happen because I was back on crutches. I had to completely change my plan, but if it wasn't for the self-perseverance, I wouldn't have made it. I knew I wanted a higher education, so I started looking and seeking for scholarships I may be eligible for. I did grieve the loss of me not being able to enlist because there were so many benefits. But it didn't stop me from continuing my fight against my ankle. I promise you this has a good ending. Senior year, my current situation. Doctors finally found the cause of my weak ankle. After doing an MRI, they found I had an extra bone in my ankle that was scraping against my flexor tendon in the back. I had surgery to remove it, and it was successful. I am currently healing and taking life at one step at a time. To wrap things up, this story wasn't just to bore you with a girl with an ankle injury, but to show you that whatever your challenge you may be facing, it may be enough to show it's up to you on how you react. I was able to remain resilient, overconfident, and persevere. The physical challenge may be hard, but it can't compare to the mental battle. Quote, "The most powerful weapon is hope," by Juliet Marliner. That quote tells me that anything is possible with a little hope and resilience. Whether you are going through something at home or in the workplace, anyone can make it. So sprint through TAR, and thank you for your time.